The first Tetris games video had subtitles. One of the comments complained about them obscuring the blocks at the bottom. Now that I'm speaking, I don't have to worry about that anymore. Let's play some more Tetris games. itch.io still has a lot of them. A cat named Fido. This game really is magical. You need to move tiles around and line up 4 of the same kind, vertical or horizontal. You can swap the places of 2 neighboring tiles, or you can move a single tile left or right. However, you cannot move a tile upwards if there's nothing above it. The magic isn't strong enough for that. Crystal balls will eventually spawn. This game is magic themed, so I assume that's what they are. You can't drag them or swap places with them. You have to play around them until you make a match next to them. If they weren't here, the game would probably be too easy. You can line up 5 or more squares to earn more points. Matching 6 of them will start a combo. Unlike most Tetris games, this one is not endless. You need to find and unlock 17 star tiles to complete it. I don't know if I have to do something specific or if I just need to keep playing normally. Playing normally is pretty fun, so I won't complain. Technically, the game has urgency, but it's not that tense. In fact, it might be better not to rush. It's better to take out 5 or more squares at once than just 4. The blocks don't drop very quickly. The crystal balls are certainly an obstacle, but lining up the blocks isn't that difficult. Watch out for the pillars though. You need to knock them down before they reach the top. Even when you can't make a match, you can still give yourself a head start. Line up 2 or 3 squares of the same type. I like how engaging the game is. I always want to make the best tile setup. As you might have guessed, this is a Game Boy game. It has a limited color palette, but the blocks still manage to stand out from one another. Fido is pretty cute. He fits in with Kirby, Pikachu and other Game Boy scribblers. The music adds to the relaxed atmosphere. Even the track called Tense doesn't really make me want to hurry up. If you find enjoyment in organizing things, check out Fido's magic tiles. Let's see how efficient you can be. This game doesn't have a Tetris tag, but is described as a spooky Tetris roguelike, so I figured it counts. In this game, you have 2 goals. Build a castle and manage your money. Every piece except the final one costs money. They come in a variety of shapes. The effects are even more varied. Some give you money immediately and some give you money later on. The pieces can also come with negative effects. The most common one is, new pieces cannot be placed on top of this one. A level is over when you place the throne room. Hopefully, you will manage to place every room before you run out of coins. Early on, you will learn that the castle will reach the peak of its power once it's 20 blocks high. It's not hard to guess that it's a victory condition. No, you cannot immediately build that high. You don't have enough rooms and a lot of them are not stackable. You have two kinds of currency, coins and gems. Coins are temporary. No matter how many you spend or save, you always start a level with 10. Gems carry over from level to level. If you have enough, you can spend them on new rooms. Choose wisely. Many rooms have synergy and anti-synergy with one another. Building a castle is a lot of fun. You can always find a new way to maximize coins and gems. It's exciting to buy new rooms and figure out the best way to use them. There are some things that bother me, however. It's impossible to lose. When you build sloppily, the worst thing that can happen is getting fewer gems. I often complain about games being too punishing, but this is the opposite extreme. I also wish I could skip the cutscene at the end of the level. It's cute, but the charm doesn't last forever. Speaking of charm, this game has a lot of it. I like how all the rooms are designed. Judging by the logo and the story, this game is inspired by Castlevania. It's funny how different the gameplay is. According to the groundskeeper notes, Dracula wants to end his cycle of rebirth and die forever. I did not expect a Tetris game to be so dark. The game makes you think, but it doesn't put pressure on you. If something like that appeals to you, give it a try. I don't know what the R stands for, but that's still a cool title. The tutorial is kind of long, so I'll give you the abridged version. This is both a puzzle game and an RPG. It has some similarities with Fido's magic tiles. Swap the tiles and line up 3 of them. You can only swap horizontally, so you're a bit more limited. There's a battle on the right side of the screen. You need to add to the knight's queue of moves. Swords give them attack power and shields block enemy attacks. I'm probably stating the obvious. Every 10 seconds, the actions in a queue will activate. If you play well, the knight can pack a wallop. More people need to say that word. You can press X to speed up the blocks. It's a double-edged sword. You're giving yourself more ammo, but you're also getting closer to the ceiling. Speaking of, there is a bit of multitasking involved here. The blocks can't reach the ceiling and the knight must not die. Trying to prevent both of those from happening can be tricky. Despite its cute aesthetic, the game is not messing around. You should plan your moves ahead, but good luck doing that when both the enemies and the blocks are after you. As the game goes on, the opponents will find new ways to make it harder. They can have all kinds of gimmicks. The gimmicks can sometimes give you an advantage. I don't know if that's intentional or not. The left side can also change. The moves won't always be the same. They can appear in different ratios. This is one of those games that starts out simple, but gradually gets more complex. I can handle complexity as long as you don't just throw me into the fire. As I kept playing, I got faster and faster. I may only have 10 seconds, but I'll make the most of them. The art style is as enjoyable as the gameplay. The knight's helmet makes them look like a little stag beetle. It's adorable. The enemies are cute as well. They remind me of those old games where everything has eyes. It's not as scary as it sounds. A medieval knight is fighting tanks and warplanes, but they don't feel out of place. How do you even pull that off? Pulling off strange combinations is on brand for Swapwood Quest R. Whether you like Tetris or turn-based battles, you'll enjoy it. Cascade is a synonym of fall or flow, and a cadence is the part of a melody that goes down. That's clever. I don't know if the water background is necessary. The falling blocks are enough to justify the title. Your goal is to make squares. There has to be at least 4 blocks of the same color together. Combos start when multiple squares are formed at the same time, or when the disappearance of blocks causes a chain reaction. Once a square is formed, it glows for a moment before it explodes. I'm not sure why it doesn't just disappear immediately. Perhaps the game wants to give you time to make the shape bigger and earn some extra points. Or maybe it wants to give you some extra challenge. Once the falling blocks get faster, you're gonna wish they would explode sooner. Some blocks have arrows on them. When they hit the ground, they change the color of all the blocks in the row or column. In this game, it's relatively hard to get rid of the backlog. You need to get rid of at least 6 blocks at once for a net negative. I figured the arrow blocks are here to help you with that. Place them strategically and you'll remove a lot of blocks. There's a grid behind you and a light under the blocks, showing you exactly where they will land. It's really hard to miss. The blocks wrap around from left to right. You can even make squares from opposite sides of the grid. That's something I rarely see in Tetris games. The gameplay isn't the most unique thing in the world, but it's still enjoyable. Like I said before, I don't get the point of delayed explosions, but they still look cool. The entire game shakes when they go off. There's a wave that goes through the blocks. It's fun to watch. I like the sound of the falling blocks turning. It's pretty satisfying. As you advance through the levels, the background and the appearance of the blocks change. They're not just palette swaps, the whole design is different. Every stage is a pleasant surprise. The music sounds like lo-fi with extra energy. It somehow suits me and pumps me up at the same time. Overall, Cascadence is a feast for the eyes, ears and the brain. That might be redundant, but I don't care. And that's all of them. Don't think I'm running out of ideas. There will be a lot of new ones in the future. I could still use your help though. If you have an idea, let me know. Thanks for watching. I hope I brightened your day.